So go ahead and make yourselves comfortable on your back. Welcoming yourself into this gentle practice. Welcoming yourself onto your back, resting your shoulders, resting your feet in a flat position, your knees are bent. Give you a little leeway. Maybe you're going to want to let your knees touch each other a little bit and separate your feet just a tad. So allow for whatever feels comfortable and natural for you with your feet and your knees. Maybe you're going to move your feet a little further away from your hips in order to get more comfortable in your knees and to feel neutral in the sacral space and the low back. And when you get yourself settled in with your knees and your pelvis relaxed, your feet are heavy, I'll invite you to rest your hands onto your torso. Maybe the left hand falls towards the heart and the right hand towards the abdomen. Whatever feels natural for you. Let the elbows relax at your side. And begin this process of arriving in your back practice. Closing your eyes eventually and directing your attention to the sound and sensation of the breath. Observing the way that the breath is moving into the back side of your body. Feeling the breath expand naturally against the earth beneath you. Continuing to rest your attention on the ebb and flow of the breath. We'll begin a gentle movement in the head and neck, turning the head ever so gently from side to side. Allow the movement to be as subtle as you like, just observing the neck, the weight of the skull, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the tongue, relaxing the cheekbones, the eyeballs, the forehead, relaxing the scalp, resting the head gently back to neutral. Continuing to observe the natural ebb and flow of the breath. We'll bring our palms together, interlace our fingers, and roll the palms away from the heart, up towards the ceiling. Gently stretching the wrists, the forearms, the knuckles. Continuing to breathe and observe the flow of the breath into the back side of the body, especially the back of the lungs. As you press the palms towards the ceiling, Maybe the shoulders can lift off of the ground just a little bit, feeling that extra bit of stretch in the shoulders. Bending the elbows, releasing the hands. Rest your hands now across to the outside of your shoulders. The fingers wrapping around the outside of the shoulders, the elbows across the heart. Take a couple breaths here. Just let the arms be heavy, falling across the chest, relaxing the shoulders. Breathing deeply here. Relaxing the arms slowly, melting them down across the chest, elbows finding their way towards the earth at your sides, and then palms falling open. Just let it happen naturally, organically. Melting the arms away from the body and feeling the weight of the arms against the earth at your sides. We're going to keep the feet now separate, maybe even moving them further apart until you feel the side edges of your mat. And then drawing the knees slowly from side to side here. This movement may be very subtle. Allow it to be initiated through the weight of the legs falling from side to side with the breath. Arms resting heavily at your sides, elbows and wrists heavy to the earth, leg bones slowly rolling open and over at whatever pace, exploring whatever range of motion feels groovy to you in your body, in this breath, in this moment. You might enjoy turning the head in the opposite direction from the knees, nose away from knees, and seeing how that feels as you continue to gently bring some movement to the low back and the hips, maybe even feeling a subtle stretch in the spine. When it feels natural to you, use your hands to scoop the backs of your knees in towards your chest and slowly draw the knees inward, giving yourself a gentle hug, perhaps even a subtle rock from side to side. The hands gently coming up to the back of your knee joints. The elbows can rest at your side and the knees fall into the hands. Relaxed in the hips, the low back, the groins. Breathing deeply and observing sensations in the body. slowly releasing the sole of the left foot to the floor. We'll hold the right knee and just continue to observe whether we can relax the right hip a little bit more. When it feels right to you, consider placing the right ankle on the left knee, flexing the right foot to stabilize the right knee, encouraging the right knee away from the body. Gently accessing the right hip, breathing deeply, observing the right hip, relaxed in the face, the shoulders, the jaw. Consider any variations of this pose that your body is inclined to explore, taking a few more breaths with ankle to knee. Deep oceanic breathing. When it feels complete for you, allowing for the soles of the feet to rest flat on the floor, pausing and possibly taking a prop, a rolled towel, or a yoga block between the knees and gently squeezing that prop. Exhaling as you squeeze, inhaling as you relax. Maybe you'll repeat it a few times. We can place the prop aside and gather the left knee in towards the chest. Take a few breaths, gently encouraging the left knee towards the body as you relax the left hip. Placing the left ankle to the right knee and opening the left knee away from the body now. Breathing deeply into the left hip. Maybe there are variations of this pose that feel even more satisfying to you. Continuing to work with ankle to knee. The left foot remains flexed. Perhaps the right foot comes off the floor. or is resting on a block or prop. Opening the left knee in whatever variation feels satisfying to you. I enjoy a gentle rock from side to side. Once again, slowly releasing, we'll place the soles of the feet back to the mat, carefully returning a prop to the space between our knees and giving it a squeeze. That prop could just be a little towel rolled up or a pillow folded, anything at all that can create a little space between the knees. Again, squeezing as you exhale and releasing as you inhale. Let's now take some time to invite the legs up. If you like to use a prop under the pelvis, this is the time to activate into your feet and hands. Curl slowly upward with a pelvic tilt and a lift of the sacrum so that you can slide the prop underneath. You might choose to keep your pelvis flat on the mat, whatever feels right to you. Allowing the legs to float and breathing deeply. The pelvis remains heavy, the leg bones relaxed, the knees, the ankles floppy. You might even like to shake out your legs a little bit and see if you can kind of shake the muscles and the flesh off the bones. Give yourself a little massage that way. You might like rotating the ankles. You might like settling the legs open in a straddle and hanging out there. You might prefer just the stillness of that moonwalk sensation, floating the legs above the pelvic bowl. Breathing deeply here. Continue to observe the subtleties of sensations in the body as you float the legs. Transitioning slowly, one foot reaches to the floor at a time, and we press into the mat with the hands and the feet in order to remove the prop from under the pelvis, rolling carefully down through the spine. We'll gather our knees towards our chest and we'll open to happy baby. The hands supporting at the back of the knee joints, the elbows relaxing at our sides, the ankles and the toes flexing towards the ceiling. Breathing deeply here. Rest the tailbone towards the earth. Relax the groins. Relax the shoulders. Relax the jaw, the tongue, the eyeballs, the forehead, the scalp. Breathing deeply here. Stay with this pose a little longer, focusing on the exhale and drawing the abdominal wall towards the back of the body, clearing the lungs and the abdominal organs with a gentle squeeze upon each exhale. Allow each inhale to be full and expansive. Consider one more giant exhale. You might even release it from the mouth and allow for sound. Releasing the soles of the feet slowly towards the floor. Perhaps you have two items to use as props to collect your knees, your thighs. I'll invite you to let the soles of the feet touch in Baddha Konasana. Actually, this would be considered Supta Baddha Konasana because we're on our backs. Soles of the feet touching, knees falling open onto support. So groins and pelvic bowl completely at ease, no strain. And we allow the arms to fall open in any way, shape, or form that feels natural to you as you breathe into the belly, replenishing the abdomen with freshly oxygenated fluids. Continuing to rest the weight of the bones ever more heavily to gravity with each exhale. We can begin to wiggle our fingers just ever so slightly, and then wiggle our toes. Bring a little more attention to the connection between our feet, and then direct the soles of the feet to the floor. And slowly bring the knees together. You can slowly place that prop between the knees one more time, giving it a little squeeze as you exhale, and then relaxing tension as you inhale. Repeating it a couple more times, squeezing on the exhale, relaxing on the inhale. And eventually we can place the prop to our side once again and gather the right knee in towards the chest. Here, I'll invite you to rest the left leg long and heavy, shifting to Apanasana. In Apanasana, the long leg might benefit from a prop underneath the thigh. This would alleviate any strain that you might be feeling in your low back or in that left hip. So a prop underneath the left thigh, right up close towards the hip, would be very supportive in avoiding strain in the left hip. Relaxing the weight of the left leg ever more heavily to the earth. Relaxing the right knee towards the body, and ultimately allowing the knee to fall into the right hand, and then across towards the left hand. And perhaps shifting back and forth, moving the right knee from hand to hand, however it might feel groovy and satisfying to you. So let's consider extending that right leg, placing the hands behind the right thigh, perhaps, or if you prefer, you can take your right index finger and get a grip on your right big toe. Extending through both feet, flexing both feet, and gently extending through the right leg to whatever trajectory feels just right to you. It's very likely that the back of the right leg will stay soft, avoiding strain in the back of the knee or in the hamstring. Opening to whatever degree feels safe and right for you. Breathing deeply into the back of the right leg. You might enjoy moving the right leg around, perhaps just shifting its trajectory and hanging out in stillness again. Perhaps finding more movement like a bicycle motion or some other exploration that feels right to you. Working with an extended right leg, supporting it with your hands, or maybe not. Whatever feels right to you. If you release your grip on the right leg, I recommend palms down on either side of your hips, activating down towards the earth with the palms and the arm bones for stability. Taking just a little bit more time here, staying curious and playful in the way that you're working with the right leg. Maybe there's just some subtle exploration. Maybe it's more movement is explored. Maybe just pure surrender, bending the right knee back to the chest and resting in Apanasana. Observing and following your own body wisdom. Resting in the map of your breath. The left hand can take the right knee slowly, very gradually across the body, finding some stretch along the outside of the right hip as you ultimately anchor the right knee to the left side of the body, either with the left hand or onto a prop. The right arm falls open behind you. Maybe there's support under the right elbow. Avoiding strain in your joints, stabilizing and surrendering. Breathing deeply here. Checking in with your neck. You may even choose to drag the right arm down along the earth, across your body and up and overhead in a big circle, giving a gentle stretch and exploration of the right shoulder. Allowing your own body wisdom to guide you here. Ultimately, an exhale will melt you back, knees to chest. We'll pause here and invite a little adjustment in the low back, in the sacral space, in the pelvis, as we return to something that feels neutral. Maybe a gentle rock, and whatever feels right to you. Whenever you're ready, the left knee stays bent and the right leg releases long and heavy. Again, this may be a time to use a prop under the right thigh, alleviating any strain in the hip or low back. Holding the left knee, relaxing muscular tension in the shoulders, the jaw, the tongue, the forehead. And eventually letting the left knee fall into the hands, perhaps from hand to hand. Breathing deeply as we gently explore the left hip, the right leg long and heavy. Moving the left knee from hand to hand. Whenever it feels right to you, consider exploring the extended left leg. Maybe hands are behind the left thigh. Maybe the left index finger grabs the left big toe instead. The feet are both flexed. Breathing deeply into the back of the left leg, exploring in whatever form feels just right to you. Maybe we're holding a particular position and just breathing and observing. Maybe there's a pattern of movement that feels satisfying to explore. Honoring that that left leg and hip presents differently than the right and perhaps requires different movement, different exploration, different attention. Ultimately, the left knee is bent and the right hand takes the left knee slowly across the body until the pelvis rocks all the way over. Left side of the pelvis stacked on top of the right. Left shoulder releases from the earth, and we anchor, stabilize, and surrender. Maybe the left arm drags along the earth around your body in a big circle, exploring the left shoulder, if that feels right to you. Once again, allow the map of your breath, your own body wisdom, to guide you toward neutrality. Exhaling as you melt back, knees to chest. Pausing here and just observing. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side. So take a moment to listen to your body and notice if there's any parts of the body that require more release, more attention as you make your way toward Shavasana. You may feel the urge for any final little movements. Just allow. When you're ready, the legs can fall down long and heavy or be propped with pillows or up onto a chair, couch, ottoman, bed, pile of things, wall. Whatever feels just right to you here. We'll rest now in Shavasana, our final pose of restoration and integration. Here we invite the nervous system to absorb that sense of connection, harmony, balance. And we fall into the sweet spaciousness of our yoga. Inviting the breath to deepen. And if you're ready to transition, allowing for some subtle movements, gathering the knees to your chest, taking your time, and inviting your body to roll toward one side as you find your way to sit. We can bring our palms together and rest our chin towards our chest. Take a deep breath in and a big exhale through the mouth. Perhaps repeat. Honoring your own inner wisdom with gratitude for its guidance to this very point in time and space. Acknowledging one another with gratitude for the sweetness of practicing together, and acknowledging the practice itself, this ancient wisdom having trickled down to our now moment, offering us this guidance and ease. Namaste.